everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So for those playing along at home, you may notice that I have not put a vlog up for quite some time, despite the start of the year saying that I was going to do this every day. I got up to over 100 days worth of doing it every day and enjoy doing it for the most part. I have not done one for quite some time now, several weeks as a matter of fact. A few reasons behind that, which is kind of what this video is about, just sort of giving a bit of an update of where things are at. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in my personal life at the moment, good and bad, and kind of all sorts of weird things going on. But I kind of want to do a bit of a quick update because I haven't done a vlog for a very long time. And I'm kind of changing a little bit how I'm doing things, and reason behind that is when I actually went back and had a look at the vlogs I was putting out, I was not happy with what I was putting up. I started the year with the whole idea and the concept of doing one every day, thinking that I was going to have interesting content to put up. I was going to have stuff you guys would want to watch. I was going to have stuff that I was going to want to look back at and keeping it as a bit of a record as to what I'd done for the year, and for myself to look back in 10 years time and kind of see what I'd done in 2025 and sort of how I'd changed and how things had kind of gone for my driving in the car and everything else. The problem was there was not enough things for me to do to put something up of interest every day. It got to the point that, and I know I look back at some of the videos, it got to the point of me just talking shit for 10 minutes just for the sake of putting it up. Not for the sake of putting anything content-wise up or putting anything decent up. It was just me talking rubbish and telling you the same thing I told you 3 days in a row because I had nothing to talk about, basically. That defeats the whole purpose of doing the vlog. The vlog was supposed to be something interesting and kind of updates of what's going on and what's happening with the car and events and stuff like that. Unfortunately, life happens. Budget kind of tightened up for a few reasons. So I wasn't getting to all the events I wanted to get to. I wasn't getting modifications done to the car that I wanted to get done. Time was scarce as hell. My work roster was all over the place. And by the time I got home from work, I was just not in the mood for doing anything. And I was struggling to kind of get the motivation to do things. On the car and to kind of get things modified and fixed and done and whatever else I wanted to do. Fast forward a couple of months, I'm now in the process of changing to a different role, still in the company that I work for my 9 to 5. It is a very, very, very different role to what I'm doing at the moment and what I've done previously. There will be a lot of unknowns. Essentially, we are building a major system countrywide from the ground up, myself and 2 other guys. So there's going to be a lot of weird hours. I'm going to have to travel an hour to work as opposed to at the moment I travel 10 minutes up the road. Eventually that will be a part and part work from home thing. So I will have a lot more time with no travel, being able to work from home or work remotely at the same depot that I work at presently, which is only 10-15 minutes up the road. But that is a little bit down the track. Initially, I'm going to have to be driving for sort of an hour and a half, depending on traffic, to and from the office, which obviously is going to be a big time drain on me. By the time I get home, it's either going to be way too late for me to actually do anything with power tools, so I can't do anything in the garage, or I'm just going to be so knackered and spent that I'm just not going to be interested in doing it. It's going to make it hard for me to do things going forward for a little bit until I kind of get adjusted to this new role and new timeline and sort of working schedule that I have to do. But that is life. Long term, this is going to be a big payoff for me in terms of career, in terms of development, in terms of family life and work-life balance with being able to work from home and stuff like that. It is going to be a massive benefit going forward, but that will take some time to get into. So it's just a case I'm going to have to grin and bear it for a bit. The old saying of, take the good to get the bad. Short-term pain for long-term gain. That being said, I do want to keep putting videos out. I do want to keep making content. I still want to get a couple of good little side hustles going. I have got a bunch of ideas. If you haven't seen a couple of my social media posts, my garage is now pretty well set up. I'm actually starting to use it. I've been recording some videos of doing some stuff to the car. I haven't released them yet, but essentially I'm going to be redoing the wiring. I'm redoing where the little panel where my stereo used to be, so I can do a proper switch panel in there, converting it to push to start, ignition, moving the gauges around, a few little bits and pieces. Nothing that's costing money, thank God, but things that are taking a little bit of time and my own skill and expertise, if you can call it that. But it is because I have got the garage set up now. I'll insert a little clip here. of the garage all kind of set up. Show you different workbenches and stuff that I've got now. Obviously, the main one behind me, it's kind of my clean space. It's where I do a lot of the I'll be doing a lot of my wiring. I have some arts and crafts projects, I suppose you could call them. I'll be doing that sort of stuff here as well. And then at the other end of the garage, I have my dirty fabrication area. It's got my grinder, it's got the belts, the linisher, drill press, vise, that sort of stuff. I can do all my cutting and messy stuff up there. It's got the welder and that sort of stuff under there. So I've kind of got my two different bits, and I've got my big toolbox in between that I can now actually get access to, which is brilliant. So yeah, I've kind of got that set up so I can actually start doing some smaller projects in the car. To start with, as I said, the fixing up the dash and the wiring. Last event, we're having issues with the gauges, the wiring and the gauges playing up. I'm assuming it's wiring, but the gauges were playing up and not doing what they were supposed to do. Thankfully, I don't push that car to the 10th degree, so if I don't have gauges telling me exactly what's happening, it's not the end of the world. I can feel if it's doing something wrong. I can hear if it's doing something wrong. And it ran fine, so I'm not really worried. The gauges are there for my own peace of mind. But not the end of the world if they are playing up. However, I am relocating them. I'm going to redo some of the wiring, tidy it up a little bit. As I said, put a new switch panel on this dash and that sort of stuff. Outside of that, relocating the gauges, I do want to remove the rear muffler on the exhaust as well. I removed the cat, did a cat delete before the last event. Worked amazingly. Sounded good. I think it had a little bit more pep in it. Just the seat dyno. I could feel it had a little bit better pickup. It revved a little bit quicker as well. So I definitely think that had a big difference. Still not stupidly loud. To be honest, it's still ridiculously quiet. I actually want to do a muffler delete and just see what that sounds like. Potentially get a V-band set up so that if I go to a track like Pheasantwood and they go, nah, car's too loud, I can put the muffler back on. But somewhere like City Motorsport Park, where there's not really a noise restriction, there isn't a noise restriction, I can just do a muffler delete and have basically a dump pipe in front of the diff. So it'll be 3-inch all the way down and then just dump until I get time. I do eventually want to redo the whole exhaust. I'm not entirely happy with how it is. The exhaust that I've got on there is one that I picked up off Facebook Marketplace for a couple of bucks ages ago. It's not a full 3-inch, it's 2 3/4. So it's 3-inch from the rehousing of the turbo down to where the cat would have been. And then the cat delete, obviously, you saw my scrap 3-inch, made that. And then it's 2 1/4 from there back through the muffler and out. So I will eventually do a 3-inch all the way through for a little bit more flow. But until that time, I'm just going to have to deal with the 2 1/4. I'm not competing. I'm not pushing crazy numbers. So it's not something that's going to be it's not a high priority, something I want to do. But just getting the cat delete, I just want to get a little bit more noise out of it. It's way too quiet to draw attention to itself and do what I want it to do. The other thing I actually have to do, I haven't shown anyone this yet, so this is kind of a bit of an exclusive-y whatever. I have found a big wang for the back of it. Again, thank you, Facebook Marketplace. It actually came off another dude's 31. So it's a little split-level wing, like a 2-level wing. Basically, essentially exact same width as the bonnet lip, or the boot lip, sorry. Ish high off the boot, so I will show you that in a second. So that's got to get installed. Again, not going to be anything stupid. Going to use literally a bit of angle line, make my own brackets up for it. Can buy some, but I'm just going to make my own brackets and bolt it on. Pretty easy to do, just a couple of little bits. Again, got my fabric area now, so I can make them a lot easier. Doing the dash bits, it's been a godsend being able to just go, hey, I'll just angle grind, I'll grind this, I'll lineage this up. So I miss having the few basic power tools. So yeah, gonna put the wing on it. I have kind of mock held up on the back, and it looks fucking sick. Looks ridiculous, but it looks amazing. It's gonna be cool to have it on there. It's gonna be something pretty funny. Definitely gonna get looks and heads turning because it just stands out. There's a few little things I want to do to the car, nothing massive. I want to basically just make it stand out a little bit more for my sponsors to get more airtime. One thing I found last few events I've been to where there's been photographers, I've struggled to get people to get and I know the same as a photographer, the car does not stand out. I know it doesn't stand out. The thing is plain as all fuck. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't look anything fancy. My driving's average at best. So it's nothing that really kind of makes it stand out to get attention. My car has my sponsors and stuff on it. I want them getting airtime. I want them getting out there because they've done so much to help me. So obviously I want to make the thing kind of stand out. It's not going to compete. It doesn't have to be, a 40,000 horsepower fucking thing. As long as it smokes the tires, it makes some noise, it gets sideways, it has some fun, which it does now. Now I just need to make it look kind of funkier and make it stand out a little bit, which, the big wing, a few other little bits and pieces I want to do to it as well. Kind of obviously going to make that happen. Everything else after that is just for my own convenience, my own drivability. Things like the push button start and the better switches and stuff like that, the wiring, that's just for me. That's nothing else. Eventually we'll do a few more performance mods and stuff to it outside of the exhaust. But again, budget tight, etc. That's not going to happen for a while unless one of my side hustles kicks off and everything kind of goes through the roof. That's where the car's at. That's where life's at kind of at the moment. Things are a little bit crazy. I have got an event coming up in about 4 weeks. No, crikey, about 3 weeks now, which is what I need to get this done for. We've got a pheasant wood event coming up on the 28th of June, which will be a lot of fun. Just a standard revs day, so it'll be a bit of wet, bit of dry day. We'll have to get a few tyres. Do need to get rid of some of my old shitty tyres. We'll be hitting up the Spicy Boys. They've just gotten a big container shipping into a bunch of Greenlander different sizes for drift tyres. We'll be hitting those up and getting some. This stage, I think I've dialed it in to 215 45 17s, 225 40 18s seem to be the go-to for the car. Bigger on the front, smaller on the back, all the 215s all around. It seems to love it. Still need to play with suspension a little bit to get to help with the understeer. That's not quite where I want it to be. A few little things I want to do with suspension long term, again, when the budget allows. But there's some cool stuff going on. Outside of that, as I said, there's a lot of side projects that I want to do. There's a couple of different YouTube channels I'm probably going to start, or social media accounts I'm going to start for those side hustles, just so they're different from this kind of this format, which is all my kind of drifting and photography stuff. There's a few little things I want to do. Obviously, I'll talk about them on here when they're up and going. I will probably still cover them on here because this channel is just me. Obviously, at the moment, it's primarily drifting and photography, but so even photography, I haven't done much of that lately. I just haven't had the time to get out there and do it. Still love doing my photography, but I just have not had time to do it. Been doing a lot more video type stuff and practicing that. There's a lot of different projects I want to get. This bench will be getting a pretty big workout at the moment. It's kind of got a few dash bits on it. Once I get those off, then I'm going to start going through some of the other videos. I do want to start doing a lot more lives as well, which is one thing. Whether it's TikTok or whether it's YouTube, I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet or how I'm going to do it. I may even alternate one night one session on one session on another. There's a whole bunch of different things I want to start getting. It is going to be a big time consumption, which is why the daily vlog is kind of hard. But in saying that, things like the lives and that sort of stuff will be my daily quote unquote vlog. I'm just going to have to get a lot better at my time management to make this shit work because I need to get myself set up a little bit better, personally and financially. I know everyone says that, everyone's struggling at the moment, but with this new job, it is kind of a sideways step, but it's a lot more travel, so it's going to cost a lot more to get there. And so for the next few months, it's going to be kind of a bit of a penny pincher, bit of time. But again, you guys probably care, don't care, whatever. I've always said this channel is going to be as honest as all fuck, which is one of the reasons I started it. I want to look back in this in 10 years' time and kind of see the journey that I've taken over the 10 years. But I have some very lofty goals. I have some very odd goals that probably most people look at and say they're not achievable. But I'm going to make this happen. I have to. There's no if, buts, or maybes. I have to make what I want to happen. I'm going to manifest it as much as I fucking can. Both personally, physically, there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to happen there. Get my life kind of sorted and back on track and where I want it to be. This new job is definitely a step in the right direction. Going to be interesting. It could be a little bit of travel involved in it too, which is going to be interesting. I think initially we'll be traveling to Canberra in the first sort of month or so, or first couple of months for a couple of days down there, which would be cool. I'll try and do some vlogs and stuff if I can whilst I'm down there. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have to myself, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Life is chaotic. Everyone's life is chaotic. Life is a chaotic thing. But I just kind of want to do an update because I have been a bit MIA on YouTube and most of the socials for a while now. I have plans to very much rectify that. We'll see how we go. But again, lessons learned, move on. There's no such thing as failing in this world. It's all just about learning from your mistakes and learning from things that haven't quite worked the way you want and moving on to make them work the way you want. So, yeah, interesting time ahead, guys. Don't forget, like always, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff down the bottom. I got to figure out a better way of signing that off because that's just so generic and boring. Anyway, take care, guys. Until next time, stay awesome, stay amazing. I'll see you out there.